Let's talk about Christmas homeschool. Hi, I am Rachel from 7 and All. I am a second-generation homeschooler who loves to have nerdy homeschool conversations. So if you also just want a friend to talk homeschool with, definitely subscribe down below because I share homeschool videos every single week on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about sharing the resources that I will be using and my overall plans for homeschool in the month of December. Now, I know what we're supposed to be most excited about for December is Christmas, of course, and I'm very excited for Christmas. But this December, I am also really, really excited that my babysitters are coming home. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I live in Southeast Asia with my husband and my sons, and we live in the same neighborhood as my parents and my youngest sisters. They've been gone for several months. We have missed them dearly. They are more than just babysitters, but they do that too. And they're the only people I trust my kids with. So, we are very much looking forward to having them home, being able to have them as part of our daily lives once again. We're a close family. My youngest sisters are homeschooled as well. And so that will be the first big change. They're coming back at the beginning of the month. Now, you always expect in these videos to hear the homeschool mom saying, we're going to be getting rid of all the other schoolwork and we're just focusing on all the cozy Christmas things for the month of December. Now, we don't quite do that, and there's a couple reasons why. One, my husband is a school teacher, so we try to plan our school breaks, our breaks from our homeschool routine when he's on school break. And he does get a long Christmas break, but that will start, I think his last day of work is something like December 16th. So the first couple weeks, he's still working every day. And for me, as a mom with very young children, to me, it's no less work to just do normal school with my small kids every day while my husband is gone than it would be to be, okay, we're not gonna do any schoolwork, but I still have to watch you and keep you positively occupied and with full of good ideas for the whole long day while Papa's gone. When my husband's here, of course, then we can do more outings and, have family adventures together. But when he's at work, it's kind of like we might as well just do school. Plus, school is really fun, especially when you're in preschool. So I'm not here saying we're gonna drop everything that we do with school. We will, however, definitely be adding on some fun Christmas festivities. Now here, we're not cozying up in warm blankets and drinking hot chocolate. It is very hot here. I am very hot at the moment because I have to turn off my ceiling fans when I film videos. So it is sunny and hot. We're here having a tropical Christmas. Christmas also isn't as widely celebrated, so we don't have that many community events going on. But Christmas is something that's very important in our family and in our family culture. So we will be celebrating it. And how? What are we using? That's what I'll be sharing next. The main part of our daily routine into which I'll be adding our Christmas school is into our morning time routine. And I do have a video on my morning time and my current resources that I'm using that I can link here. Or you could just find it on my channel, my morning time routine. So every morning when my boys are eating breakfast, I read to them and we sing some songs. Now we are going to be starting that morning time routine throughout the month of December. We'll be starting with our Christmas study. And we will be using, for the second year in a row, we will be using the 25 Days of Christmas calendar that was created by my family. That uses artwork painted by my sister that features the numbers of the different dates throughout the month of December, and each number features a particular symbol or tradition of Christmas. There we've got mistletoe, stocking, we have tamales as part of a Noche Buena celebration for the 24th. So she has this beautiful, beautiful artwork. So this is how we'll start our Christmas morning time routine. We'll have our card, and on the back of the card there's a short passage to read about that little icon. And so I'll get out the card and I'll read it, and my boys will get to hang it up on a rope that I have strung across and below our windows. So as we're going through the month, they'll be adding a new card each day as we're building up to Christmas on the 25th. So besides the card that we read, there's also an accompanying little guide. If you have watched my channel for long, you know that I am ultimately practical. I believe that the homeschool that actually gets done is the homeschool that's just really easy to do. So this guide was written very much with that philosophy in mind. There's a daily menu, which also has the same reading that's on the back of the card repeated in there, just in case maybe you're handing the card around to your kids and you want to have your own copy to read. There is a scripture passage to read as well. And then there's a little menu of activities that I can, or anyone else who's using this resource, can decide, what do I want to do today? What do I want to do this morning? I definitely want to be implementing the songs, which we are using the Spanish version. As a bilingual family, always looking for ways to increase our Spanish input. We're using the Spanish version of this. There is an English version, and most people do use the English version. So we'll be having a Christmas song, which all of these are Spanish Christmas carols. So for example, this day is Noche de Paz, Silent Night. And I do for sure want to be reading a Christmas book every day. I have part of our Christmas book collection behind me right here. So that will be our day. So for sure I want to do the song, the book, and the little reading. And then there's other activities in here that I probably wouldn't do during the morning time. So there's activities like making hot chocolate from scratch, which I will definitely be doing that one, because even though the rest of my family doesn't really like hot chocolate, I still like hot chocolate even though it's hot. So there's a variety of activities. There's make some handmade Christmas cards to deliver to friends or family. Make some Christmas cookies. You know, all those festive, cozy activities that you can still do even if it's hot outside. So there are those hands-on activities. Those will be something that I will wind into the rest of our days, and that we'll sit down and make Christmas cards as an afternoon craft. That type of thing. But that's what we will do in the morning. We'll have the card with the reading, we'll have the storybook, and we will have the song. Now, as for whether that will replace any of our current morning time schoolwork, I don't really think so. It definitely is adding on something we're not doing right now. And for me, I'm just gonna play it by ear day to day. You know, if my boys are really into hearing all the stories, we'll do all the rest of the stories as well from our sunlight that I'm using for morning time. If they're already quickly finished with their breakfast and they have some other idea, you know, maybe some days we'll only do this. I'm gonna start with this so that we're making sure to do the December schoolwork when we can in December, rather than starting with our other schoolwork, which if we need to, it can get pushed on till later. But because the sunlight readings at the preschool and pre-K level are so short, I don't really see them needing to be pushed out. We'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Then the one other resource that I want to share with you that we're using is a free resource, and I will leave the link to the printable in the description below. But this was one that was delivered to us by our church last year. They were still closed for COVID and they couldn't do much. But I thought that was so sweet of them to go and deliver to all the families that had kids an Advent activity that families could do. And this is the Family Advent Art and Reading Guide by James D. Whitmer and Melissa Ellen Frank. And what it is, it's kind of like those really famous trees that I'm blanking on the name right now, where you have ornaments representing different stories from the Bible throughout the Old Testament, leading up to Christ, pointing towards Christ. So we have different ornaments. And there's one for each day of December, and then they point you toward reading a passage in the Bible, and they also give the option of reading the Jesus Storybook Bible, or for a couple of the readings they have their own little reading in this actual guide. This is a free printable, so I will leave the link down below, but this is something that I plan to do more in the evenings when my husband is home from work. So we will have our little Christmas school, which will have our songs and learning about a symbol of Christmas, and then we'll have this in the evening with my husband. I did also want to mention, I am very excited to actually be doing this again with my boys this year, now that they're older. I did it last year, but they were pretty little, so a lot of times hanging up the card was pretty much like, so this is mistletoe and this is holly, and that's about all they can really grasp from it at that point. They're going to be older this year, and they have a greater attention span, greater comprehension, and so they're going to be able to understand their readings quite a bit better. In general, I would say this is fully understand, you know, everything written about the symbolism and stuff. This is more of a 5 and up. It's not super aimed at little kids. It does go kind of deep into symbols, so that is one caution that I would give, that if you only have little kids, then you can just do something a little bit more simpler, or you can just have low expectations like I did last year and just focus mistletoe, holly, and that's it. But I am excited that this year they will be able to have a greater understanding, and they'll get to see their aunt's artwork up on the wall throughout the month. And that's pretty much it. As for Christmas fun, we'll be just generally following the schedule in the 25 days of Christmas. We'll make cookies, we'll deliver them to our neighbors. We did that last year and our neighbors were very confused. We had just moved in, and you know, Christmas isn't such a widely celebrated thing here. But they were super sweet, accepted them very sweetly. As for my sisters, I'm assuming that they're pretty much gonna get back home and hit the ground running as far as their schoolwork, because they have been on a rather long break away from normal routines, and I think everyone in the family is definitely craving home routines. So they will have their normal schoolwork, but we will also be baking and having fun. I never find that school really gets in the way of doing things we want to do. You know, we're lifelong homeschoolers. We know how to all make it all work together, and it all blends together. Books are not the enemy. That never seems to be the reason that I don't have time to do the things I want to do. Not because I read too many books. Like, that was the fun part. Okay. Thanks so much for watching this video. What are your December homeschool plans? How does your own family's unique circumstances shape the way you do homeschool in December? I would love to hear about it, so leave me a comment down below. I'll be seeing you. Bye!